All right, my fellow Weight Watchers, here we are. We're immersed in week 2, and I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Can I get a woo woo? I've got 3 tips that are gonna help you in week 2 because they help me. The first tip that I'd like to go over is avoiding temptations. So, to avoid temptations, some things that I did was just really make sure that I stock up my fridge with healthy options. I have put a bowl of grapes out on the counter, so when I'm passing by, instead of grabbing a pretzel or a potato chip to snack on, I might just pop a grape into my mouth, and that leaves me feeling satisfied, and it's definitely a healthy swap. So just kind of taking those snacks and putting them away or getting them out of the house. We used to have a big drawer after Christmas of all of the candy that was left over from my kids' stockings, and I kind of just purged that. I don't want that in the house. I don't want that looking at me when I'm opening up the drawer to get things out to eat for my family. So I said goodbye. Those went in the garbage, and just getting them out of sight, out of mind has helped me kind of curb my sweet tooth. I think it's really important just to set yourself up for success. That's why I do my weekly meal plan, so I don't have to think and come home from work and say, oh man, what do I want to make tonight? I already know. Like Monday, I'm having chicken noodle soup. Tuesday, I have a crock pot dinner ready to go. This way, I already know my points. I can pre-track, which is very helpful. And that's just setting me up for weekly success and not kind of letting the monotony of everyday life get me down where I'm like, I don't know what to do. We're rolling through the drive-thru. No. I've been really consistent with making my healthy dinners, and I'm feeling great about it. Yeah, so my tip number 1, just sort of avoid temptation. Get it out of the way. Know what you're going to eat for your lunches. I already made a pre-made breakfast that I'll have for all week. This is Sunday, so that's ready to go. And that way I know exactly what I'm eating, and then I don't have to go in the cupboard and be like, geesh, I don't have anything. Let me just pop in a toaster strudel into the toaster. So I think that we're off to a good start of just being prepared, and then that's going to help me be more successful. Another thing that's really kind of been helping me is tip number 2, which is to listen to your body and eat intuitively. So I've been trying to really think about, what am I craving? What does my body want? Am I hungry? Am I tired? Do I want to go for a walk? Am I thirsty? Do I need to hydrate better and have a big glass of water? I've noticed that if I truly do want a piece of chocolate and I have a piece of fruit instead, and that's still in my mind, if I just keep pushing and pushing and depriving myself and trying to really channel all of my willpower, that's not going to work. This is not something that is a sprint for me. This is truly a lifestyle change. So me trying to make small lasting changes, me trying to make changes that are small, that are just going to be like, I'm not going to eat chocolate for the rest of my life, that is not obtainable. So if I truly want something, I listen to my body, I think about it intuitively, and I allow myself to have it. I'm not going to make a big deal. This really is not a diet for me. This is a lifestyle switch of incorporating more fruits, more vegetables into my life. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm never going to eat donuts again. For lunch this week, I had an ounce beef, my husband and I, with French fries. I think it's important that I'm really focusing on balance and putting, I don't want to say splurge or cheat meals, because to me, no food is off limits or bad. That's one thing that I really like about WW, is that you can choose what you want to eat and when. Nothing is off limits. So, I think intuitive eating is important, and just knowing what your body wants. There's some days where I really do crave a salad, so I might make a quick salad to go along with my meal because I want that crunch. And I don't feel that if there is something I really want, allowing myself to have that is going to keep me on track for the long term. My last tip is tip number 3, is just to have self-compassion. So some days are not going to be perfect. I'm still trying to figure out those bubbles. So if you get a blue bubble or a white bubble, I don't really fully understand that in the week, but I know that blue is better because it means that you've stayed within some sort of a point allotment, but you're allowed to go over because you have weeklies. So I've been using all of my fit points, and as of now, I weigh in on Wednesday, and that's when my point resets. I've been dipping into my weeklies too, and there's 2 days that I did not have a healthy eating blue bubble, but I still have not like used all of my fit points and my smart points, my weekly smart points for the week. So I want to do a little bit more research on that. But I just think having compassion for myself and knowing maybe some days are going to be easier than others, and realizing that, recognizing that, and accepting that that's okay, is going to be mentally easier for me than thinking that I have to eat perfectly every day, because that's not going to be obtainable for the long term. Like Friday, my husband and I went bowling with other couples. We had a bucket of Miller Lite for beer. There was some fried foods on the table, and I had a few bites of that, and I'm just not going to feel bad about living my life, and I'm going to try to give myself compassion. And I've also been trying to get better rest, and I think that comes into giving myself compassion and self-care too. One thing that I did, I wanted to talk about this with the tip number 1 of setting yourself up for success. I also bought this protein powder when I was at the meeting, and it's pretty good. I usually have a glass of wine every single night, and there's some nights that I might want a second, but just if I'm feeling like I'm still hungry, if my dinner maybe did not fill me up enough, I've been putting just 1 scoop of this in a large glass of water and shaking it up, and this has kind of been making me feel, I don't want to say like a milkshake treat, but I've never really had protein powder before, and this is helping me feel satisfied, and it sort of fills me up. I also have had it a few times when I've come home from work and I'm cooking dinner, and after teaching all day, being on my feet, I'm ravenous, and this kind of holds me over until dinner is done. So I think if you're thinking about getting a protein powder, I like this one. I think the flavor is pretty good. I also want to try the chocolate. So if you have any thing to say about the 2 flavors, if you'd like to let me know what you prefer, I would love to have that. So I'd love to hear about that, I should say. So those are just kind of my takeaways from week 2, just trying to set for success, to eat intuitively, to think about what your body wants and not to deprive yourself, and just to be compassionate. And remember that this is a lifelong journey. This isn't going to be something that I'm trying to just sprint and lose my 5 or elusive 10 pounds that are always hanging on my body. I really want to make the switch to be healthier, having more energy, and feeling happier. So I hope that you have a great week and that you're continuing your Weight Watchers journey.